Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's Tyler Aries, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. All right. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over not only my predictions for the Casino Heist DLC, but also some concerns that I have. And we'll kind of wrap this together in one because I can't really talk about one without the other. I can't really talk about the predictions without mentioning the concerns because it's right there with the predictions. You know what I mean? So, again, this is all 100% speculation. We don't know until we know, but I'm basing my information off of previous DLC content, trends that Rockstar has released. Let's go over what they just said, what Rockstar has said previously already. They say, prepare yourself for the biggest, most audacious, most complex criminal operation ever to hit Los Santos. Now, that line could just simply be the PR team hyping that up, or there could be some weight to that. If this truly is the most complex criminal operation, if this really is a big type kind of operation, what they're kind of hinting to here, that could be an issue. I mean, look at Doomsday. The Doomsday heists were pretty big, pretty complex, a lot of moving parts, the setups and preparation missions, which we will be having with this as well. They've already talked about that. And it was very buggy. There's a lot of bugs still to this day. There's a tremendous amount of bugs with Doomsday Heist. It just, things aren't working right with it, and it just did not feel complete. It felt very rushed, and it felt like the people just threw it together, and whatever stuck. And that's why there is a lot of bugs with that particular heist. So that is a little concerning with that right there. So I can see that model being reused again, and there's more support to back that up. Let's check this out. They go on to say that the Diamond Casino Heist is an all-new approach to heist architecture and execution. Okay, again, this concerns me. Don't fix, what's not broken in regard to like the old school heists. The Doomsday, setup was kind of the same. You just have your setups, you have your prep missions. It followed the same formula. There was just an extra layer to it. So they're going to be changing this up. Hopefully it's for the good. But again, when they do this, when they bring in a new element of how to run a particular heist or something like that, they introduce possible new problems. Okay, so keep that in mind right there. And Rockstar goes on to say, featuring a diverse range of opportunities for setup and prep missions, again, just like Doomsday, right? That shape your plan of attack, multiple paths of approach, constantly changing security measures, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, and a dizzying array of choices once inside. Okay, so two things. Let's start with the first one here. All these different, multiple paths of approach. So I like that. That's good for the initial, gameplay, right, for the first month or so. But what tends to happen is that if there are several different routes or paths to take for a particular mission, the community will figure out the meta, right? They'll figure out the best way to go about accomplishing what path is the right one to take, right? So people will find out the best way to go about doing these, and then the meta becomes the norm, and this really nothing else is used, so it's a singular type kind of mission, just like all the other heists, right? You just have what's this one route, maybe there's a few others you could take, but it's all the most meta is the one that's primarily used. Okay. This is very interesting right here, and I haven't heard too many people talking about this. This line, constantly changing security measures. So that to me thinks that this is where this whole complexity is going to be coming into here. It sounds like Rockstar, no matter what path or, no matter what type of way you choose to complete the heist, whether it's honorable or dishonorable, right? Kind of a little bit of a Red Dead play on that. No matter what you decide to do, it sounds like Rockstar may be entering a version, a random variable into these heists. So no matter what you choose, something, they've got an algorithm that, extra security will show up, or juggernauts will show up, or this particular route that you've chosen will get null and void because of a situation that the AI, the artificial intelligence, the NPCs introduce. So I like that. I like that a lot because it eliminates what we were just talking about. It eliminates the possibility of the meta. Okay, so over time, these random events that hinder your gameplay will, there's only so many of these events that can happen. So those eventually will get found out, and then you're going to have meta strategy and tactics for each variable or outcome that Rockstar decides to put in. They're basically just kind of throwing you a curveball, But again, this has a concern element to it, because if they don't do this right, it can get very buggy very fast, and it could, it can mess a lot of stuff up. All right, so that's pretty interesting right there. So to summarize, one big heist with about 25 different variable outcomes, depending on the routes you take and whatever little wrench that the NPCs throw in there. Okay. So let's talk about the business now, because this DLC, this part 2, is basically a legit hybrid. You have, I talked about this in my earlier video. You're going to have a business as the front that supports the heist. We've never really had that before. That's really cool. I like that concept. That's a great way for Rockstar to use what they've already got, what they already know, the businesses and the heists, but create a new element by combining those two. Previously, they've combined active and passive versions of a business, but never two different types of a business, like a active or passive with a heist element. Two different types of ways to make money. So this is pretty cool right here. I do like that. So let's talk about that. They say that your heist crew leaders will set up an unexpected new commercial venture as a front. So let's break that down. So basically what that tells me is that you do not have to own one of these to be able to participate in the actual heist. It's just the person, the heist leader obviously has to have, for example, if I don't have a high-end apartment, or if I don't have a doomsday facility, I can still participate in a OG heist or a doomsday heist, right? I can just be someone that helps out. So that's going to be part of what they got. It's kind of like setting up a camp. Again, my phone goes off every time I make a video, I swear. Anyways, it's a camp or whatever for Red Dead, okay? So this new business is going to be a retro arcade business. Let me just take a moment to applaud Rockstar for this. This is brilliant. We've all been thinking about what's the next criminal type kind of thing that we can do, right? We've got we run guns. We steal precious cargo and artwork. We have a hangar business that does the same thing. We run MC Coke and meth and all this criminal stuff. This is like a legit front. Think of like Breaking Bad, right? Where the car wash was their legit business, right? You know what I mean? Or the chicken restaurant foods chain or whatever, same thing. But in the basement, they were cooking up that blue crystal, that ooh-wee. Right? It's going to be the same for us. We're going to have a legit business. And if you don't know what they're talking about with the arcade, this is something that is in the fabric of Los Angeles itself in real life. Arcades are like a real cool niche thing in LA. You can just Google arcades downtown LA and you'll pick up some really cool some cool venues there. They've got what is it, 82nd something, or I forgot what it is. There's a lot of cool ones though. And if you look at the interior, it's a bunch of retro arcades, like the pinball machines, the old school arcades that you would play, like the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now, but Cruis'n USA and the Sniper Elite games and the fighting games, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, stuff like that. The old console type arcades, the stand-up ones. And I assume it's going to be the same thing as that, and we can purchase upgrades that give us cool games and things like that. I think some of these games will be playable and others will not. They'll just be cosmetic, but that's what the interior will look like, and that'll be part of your upgrades that you have to use. And if you think about it, this is exactly following suit. The casino DLC that we already have now, the penthouse has arcades in it. I thought when this released, I was like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of like out of place to have arcades in a penthouse for a casino. I was like, where is this really going? Now I see they draw it together. They close this up. You've got some arcades in your penthouse, and you're going to be running a retro arcade as your storefront for your illegal heist business ventures, right? That's epic right there. I like that a lot. Very good on Rockstar's part for giving us something that is, we're all gamers, right? And if you're an old gamer like me, a true OG, you've been to arcades before. You still go to them. Every time I go somewhere like, a festival or a carnival or whatever, I search out the arcade and I jam some games, right? This is what we do. So that's pretty cool, I think. In regard to the arcade business, Rockstar says that while the business runs above, down below you can practice hacking keypads or cracking vault doors, store equipment, and getaway vehicles. All right, let's address the beginning of this right here. They say that while the business runs above, this leads me to believe that it could more than likely possibly be a passive income. Because, while it just runs above, kind of leading me to believe that you either buy supplies or, go steal it. But remember what type of business this is. This is an arcade business. So unless we're making like illegal pinball machines or I don't know, whatever, how's it going to generate money? It could be just like the nightclub, right? Where it just makes money off of your existing businesses. Maybe it makes money off of the heist that you do. So the more heists that you do, the arcade maybe will skim off of that, and that's how it makes money. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with this because it just seems like a regular Joe Schmo, honest business. So unless they do something like the nightclub where it just funnels a percentage of money off of what you already have, they could go with the active where you have to go do something to, maybe you have to do, it could be like the nightclub popularity missions where the only way to make money on the arcade, storefront, the legal part of it, is you have to actively do like promotion missions to get clients to come in there and play your games. And then you make some money off of it. That would really annoy me. That would be pretty, I don't know, that would be annoying, I think. I wouldn't like that. I would prefer to have some kind of way to where it would just be a passive, or if it is an active method, I don't want to do crummy popularity missions for, $70,000-$80,000 a day on the legal part of it. I'd rather just cook off money and I could just, collect it at will. But, again, we'll have to wait and see. So practice your hacking keypads or cracking vault doors, store equipment, and getaway vehicles. All right, so think about the gun running business, the bunker business, right? Think about the shooting range, the gun range. You guys know about the gun range, right? Some of you may have purchased it, some may not. Those are like little extra things that you don't have to have, but if you do have them, they will give you some perks. Like if you complete the gun range challenges, you're able to carry 5 extra throwables, you unlock some clothes, stuff like that. I think it's going to be the same thing with these, the little cracking. You don't have to have them. I think it's something that you can purchase and add to your business to give you that option, right? So I'll be able to purchase, the ability to practice hacking keypads or cracking the vault doors, right? Or I'll be able to purchase extra space to store equipment and getaway vehicles. And then, of course, they say getaway vehicles, plural, so we know there's going to be multiple vehicles in this DLC. I talked about that and how much it would cost. I think we're going to have about a dozen vehicles, give or take, 3 to 5, right? In that range. I think we're going to have enough to give us a few months of drip feed content, which again is what Rockstar typically does. That's just what their MO has been for DLCs. And that's understandable. I'm okay with that. So that's where that is. That's kind of what I'm feeling that they're talking about with that particular, line right there. And then owners of existing businesses can add a master control terminal to handle all current operations. So this is the big one right here. The MCT, the master control terminal. This could be really awesome, or it could be just a dud. All right, so let's talk about this. And I'm not going to lie, I am super hyped for this DLC. I have a tremendous amount of concerns though, because remember, this is Rockstar we're talking about. They're known for throwing us some curveballs and there being some issues, okay? So let me tell you what I think the master control terminal is going to be, and let me tell you what I think everyone else wants it to be, and why it's probably not a good idea for that to be. So everybody wants it to be a place where we can go and just buy all of our supplies and take care of business. And if you look at the one key word in that line, okay, existing businesses can add a master control terminal to handle all current operations. What do you think the key word is in that phrasing right there? The key word is handle. All right. Now, they can add a master control terminal to handle all current operations. Okay, I could have swore somewhere it said monitor in there. Maybe they changed it. I don't know. But what does that word mean? What does handle mean? Okay, that's the key thing right here. I think what people want, everybody wants it to be where we can just go to a computer terminal and buy all of the businesses, buy supplies for all businesses. People don't like flying around or driving around to buy the product at the particular location. Okay. I think that's what everybody wants. And yes, that would be cool. You just go to a computer, buy it all, and you're done, right? Buy your supplies if you want to. But let me explain to you why that may be a bad idea. If we get that, listen, let's be real. It's already easy, very easy to get supplies in the game. You spend about, I'd say, 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your location, of flying around or driving around to purchase supplies for your MC businesses and your bunker. You've got 6 locations you have to go to. You've got 5 MC locations and 1 bunker, and that's it. That's all you got to do. If they dumb this down and we get so lazy to where we just go and just go to a computer, just buy it all, and then it's gonna cheapen the value and the effect of this. Okay, so what the keyword handle leads me to believe that could be a possibility. Because what does the word handle mean? It means that you're taking care of the business. So that would lead you to believe that of all aspects of the business, selling and purchasing, right? So there's a strong possibility that we may get a MCT, a master control terminal, that allows us to 100% manage our business. Think about a stationary terabyte on steroids. It can do everything. What I think it could be is a location that allows you to monitor everything. It tells you your inventory. Okay, so if you think about it, every business in the game, when you go to that location, if you go to the your CEO office, you can get on the computer and you can check the stock of all of your crates. You can go to the warehouse and check the stocks of that particular warehouse. You can go to your individual MC, get on the computer, and you can see how much stock you have. Or you can go to the MC Clubhouse and you can see the stock of all of your businesses, right? So it's broke down to general and specific. You can get an idea of the general amount of crates that you have in all 5 business or warehouses. You can get a specific for each warehouse. You can get a general idea of all the MC businesses, or you can get a specific one by going to that particular one. So I think it's going to combine all of that. We'll have a terminal that allows you to see everything. All your crates, your hangar, your import-export cars, your MC, be able to see all of what's going on and be able to maybe sell from that location. I just don't think that Rockstar would make it that easy to where we could buy everything and sell it all, whatever, manage everything from one spot, because then it would eliminate the whole point of having a office or having a clubhouse. It would take too much, and it just dumbs it down. And I just don't think they're going to do that. So that's kind of that's my prediction. It'll be a monitor. That key phrase right there, handle all current operations. There is a strong possibility that we will be able to 100% run our businesses in regard to selling and purchasing supplies. But like I've been saying, I just don't think that's a good idea. Yes, it's super awesome. I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate for that, but I do think it would dumb the game. Now, they may be able to get a clever way around this to where it doesn't dumb it down and make it too easy. But there you go. So that's where I think that's going to be. I think the master control terminal will be something where you can just monitor everything. But there's a strong possibility, because of that phrase in there, to handle all current operations. There's going to be a possibility for it, so you could just do everything. So that would be cool, but I'm concerned about that. All right, so again, now let me talk about a few things that are intangibles. And I know this video is long, but there's a lot of to talk about. Let's talk about some of the intangibles here, right? We know the story about the casino and some countries or regions not being able to participate in a lot of the features of the casino, being the gambling or whatever. And people have asked me to say, Ty, will we be able to do these heists if we aren't able to gamble or have a casino or whatever? Well, first of all, you can still have the casino. You just can't gamble, as far as I know. You can still have that physical location, right? So I do think that there are going to be some elements that will require you to go through the paywall of maybe purchasing, part of a casino, the penthouse, something. I think that there will be some aspects of this DLC that will require you to have something in regard to the casino. But I don't think Rockstar is going to be callous enough to release a DLC that people won't be able to use because their region won't let them gamble or whatever. That's not going to happen. You'll be able to use, I would say, 90 to 95% of this DLC. There may be a couple of things that you won't have access to because of your region, and that's unfortunate. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think, I don't want to get too whatever, But I don't think any region should tell you about it if you can play a game or not. With this whole gambling, it's just stupid. It's just not what it is. I think that's dumb. So, but Rockstar has to follow the rules, whatever. So, I don't think that they're going to make it. Rockstar knows this, so they're not going to put a DLC out, especially when it's got a lot of hype around it, where you can't take part. I think the heist will be something separate. You don't have to worry about having to have this or that. I think you'll be okay with that. So that's one of the intangibles I wanted to talk about that people are there's a lot of people freaking out. I think 95% of this DLC you'll have access to. Just a few things that you may not. So don't worry about that. Okay, you guys will be good. So yeah, that's kind of what my predictions are and what my concerns are with this DLC. So let me just kind of cap it up, summarize it. Somebody can timestamp this, I guess, if they want to. Right. So I'm looking at, I'd say it's going to be about a $30 million DLC. I don't think it's going to be that expensive. I talked about that in my previous video because I think this is going to be an extension of the first part of the casino DLC. I'd say about a dozen, maybe 15 vehicles total, enough to have some drip feed for the content. I think that the arcade business will be cool. They'll have some playable games in there. I think it'll be a passive income. With obviously there's a possibility of it being active as well. But my concerns are they just make it like a popularity type kind of thing, like the nightclub, where you just do popularity missions and people get in there and play your arcade games or whatever. So that's kind of a bummer. With the heisting, I think everyone will be able to be a part of the heist. I do think that the heists will be a 4-person heist. I don't think that Rockstar is going to let people, because of the Bogdan glitch, have another 2-person heist, because it's so much easier to spam that with 2 people than it would be with 4 people, right? If you have 2 people, you have to do the Bogdan twice to get everybody paid up. If you had 4 people, you have to do it 4 times, obviously, right? So I don't think that there's ever going to be another 2-person heist again. I could be totally wrong, though. Because of the Bogdan glitch. If Rockstar didn't learn their lesson from that, then they deserve to have people just spam that out. You know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. They should know better. And I think 4 people, a heist, it should be 4 people. I like the element of having 2 people, but I think a heist is generally, you just have more people engaged in that. And I think that's fine. It forces you to kind of network more and to get out of your hole and meet some people. So I'm okay with that. I think it's going to be a 4-person heist. Maybe this will go up to 6 people, maybe because they're talking such a big and complex, heist itself that you'll have to have more than 4. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't see that being the case. If it was, I'd see maybe 6 at the most. And I think the heist is going to be similar in respect to Doomsday Heist. I do. And that concerns me. I think it's going to be, you have a lot of these prep missions, these setups. It's one heist, but I think it'll be broke down. And we're going to have like 12 different whole steps and processes for this one heist. I think it's going to be an epic, it'll be like the Iliad, you know what I mean? It'll be like the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, right? I'm showing my nerdiness in my school. But it'll be like an epic saga where you have to go through a lot of stuff. I don't think they're going to put out like a 5-mission, setup like the original heist. I think it'll be, about 12 steps, maybe even more total. Think about the OG heist. The OG heist, there's 5 of them, right? Each one has between 2, 4, and 5 setups, right? So you're going to have, if you add all those up together, it's like 20 different missions that you have to do. It's like 19 or 20 of them. So think of it like that. Think of it being like a multiple step. Think of it being like 5 mini heists inside the big heist. That's what I think they're going to do with this. It'll be one playable heist, but it'll have like 5 mini heists, and each one will have your different setups and prep missions. Do we have another criminal mastermind? Absolutely. Do we have another bunch of achievements to unlock? Absolutely. Do we have new weapons? Absolutely. New vehicles? Absolutely. All these things happen. New clothes? Absolutely. These are already known. We don't have to predict this. These are known. The mastermind stuff? No, that's not known. I do think that we'll add another challenge in there, though. With the arcade business, you can make an argument that it'll just be one location. They were able to do that successful with the casino. It's just one location, right? But I do think that we'll be able to purchase, there'll be different little arcade locations around the map, and you'll be able to buy your own. I do think that's the route they'll take. But again, there is a very strong possibility that it could be, just one spot. I just think it makes more sense for them to have different locations for you to purchase your own arcade and to build it up and customize it the way you want to. I mentioned it before in this video and a previous one. I think this DLC will cost, probably around 30 million or less because it's an extension. That's what I think. The profit, what will you make though? I think that these heists will be profitable. I think they'll be in line with what the OG heists paid out. I don't think a lot of people were happy with what the Doomsday heist paid out, so it'll be more in line to what the OG, maybe a mix. They'll find like a good balance. I think it'll be good money though. And if they do add a Criminal Mastermind, think about it being, a hybrid between the two Doomsday and the OG heist, where you get, maybe some kind of bonus for doing a particular type of combination of the challenges. Or just for straight up for completing them on hard, not dying, all in order. I think it may go back to that, so that'll be really cool. I'm excited for that. Will Vincent be involved in this? We have not heard anything from Vincent, but I could not imagine this going down without Vincent being involved, especially the way they left it with him getting fired so disrespectfully from that POS that took over. So yeah, that's it, man. That's my prediction. I'm sure I left out some stuff. If you guys got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Let's have a good conversation. Let's have a good Discord about this. I think it's worth it. This is some good stuff to speculate. So remember, I'm just basing this off of previous information, gut stuff, and then a few insider info stuff here and there. So take it with a grain of salt. It's just speculation, but this is fun. It's cool, and I look forward to see what's going to happen with this. All right, thank you all so much for coming out of the video. I know it was a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. All right, you can your legs are probably falling asleep now from being on the toilet for about 30 minutes. So, anyways, you guys know what to do, man. Thank you so much for coming out. Subscribe to the channel for the Ills and Reels content. The game. Make sure you smash that like button, and you guys stay dangerous. See the next one. Peace out. Yeah.